Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm on my way to work. Thank you for coming back to watch my video. I think I'll end up making like one more video. I'm praying that with the Bell's palsy that I make 100% recovery. So if you guys can tell, even the video I made last week, my mouth was still twisted and still kind of contorted a little bit. This week, I mean, I really feel like I got full range of motion. I can feel my eye closing, like with the blinks. It's like almost in sync with the other eye. This one's still a little bit faster. But look at how my mouth has opened up. Again, I still feel a tad bit of pull. I feel like the letter F is still a challenge for me to say, but I guess to the naked eye, Bell's palsy is not apparent, when you look at me. So that's a good sign. I may have what am I trying to say? I may have mentioned before that I'm going to have another checkup by my primary care doctor, and that'll be in November. So for sure by that time, it'll be like probably the first week in November. So within the next couple of weeks, hopefully there is like literally no pull to down, like no gravity pull, because it's really what the effect is. It's like your face just gives a gravity and it goes paralyzed, but everything droops. So I can tell in this cheek area that that muscle's still kind of weak. So, but it's cooperating and everything seems to be operating symmetrically, in sync with each other. And one side doesn't particularly look more drooped than the other like before. Just by looking at me, some people were able to see that something was going on, but they could not tell, and it did look like a stroke, so that was one thing. The other thing is, all my facial muscles seem to be kind of coming back together. I mean, definitely there's something with my eyes still. I know that because when I clean my face with face wash, that stuff gets in my eye, even though I think my eyes closed. So that's like one of the dangers of Bell's palsy. Does pose a danger to the person's eye, because the eye is vulnerable and it's not closing to protect, the eyelid is not closing to protect the eyes. So you have to be careful with face washes and makeup and stuff like that, because that eye is just not closing, on what do you call it? It's an involuntary thing. So when you think your eyes closed, it's not, the brain thinks it's closing, but the actual action isn't happening. So that's something to be worried about. A lot of people, I know of one girl whose video I watched, she reported having to buy a metal, like a gold plate, to go in her eyelid because her eye never ever really closed back. So I don't think I want to go that far with what's happening now. I think that I'm kind of used to it enough that I could manage this, even if this is the furthest my eye will close for the rest of my life. So I think I can manage it, to keep that eye as protected as possible. I kind of had a double whammy. I may have mentioned this in other videos. I do have severe seasonal allergies. So with my allergies, my eyes dry out. I've already been diagnosed with, I don't know the medical term, but it's chronic dry eyes. So my eyes are dry most of the time, if not all the time. And so to have my eye not closed like it's supposed to, to have my eyelid not closed like it's supposed to, on top of what I was already dealing with, that made those drops even more important to have on hand, because whew, that it really was, it did take somewhat of a toll. And even now, I'm really fortunate that I do have allergies, because I think the allergies saved my eye. The reason why I believe that is because there are times my eyes are really dry, and then there are times when I get that sinus pressure buildup that works for me, because it actually keeps my eye lubricated. And this eye on one hand is, filling with tears all the time, but then on the other hand, which is a good thing, when it's filled with tears, it keeps my eye lubricated, but it also poses a frustration because the eye is filled with tears. And it's not like particularly like I'm crying. It's just the eye is filled with tears, and it kind of blinds me a little bit, so it makes it hard to focus on what I'm doing, on my tasks and stuff like that. If I had to say Bell's palsy, had any impact on my life and my everyday functioning, would be mostly in that area, because in the area of the eye where it's filled with tears, and I constantly have to blink like 15 times, or I have to always get a tissue to blot the tears out of my eye, and try to regain focus quickly, because I'm looking at a computer all day, I'm talking to people all day on my job. So to be able to see is important, right? Other than that, I really can't recall any other types of impairments that Bell's palsy has caused me. I'm really grateful for my recovery. I'm thankful that my recovery is as good as it is. I do not take that for granted. I do not take credit for that. That's only God can do that, because that's a part of your body that you the nerves. Whew. The nerves are, really untouchable. The muscles, you might be able to do a little massaging with that, but I don't know that any amount of physical therapy could really impact the recovery process, because I know I've heard of people who have not ever recovered from Bell's palsy. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe they got misdiagnosed and it was really a stroke. I don't know. But I'm really happy that things are looking good. I can see a little bit of slantness there on my bottom lip. It's not, my smile is not as big as it could be, so I still got some recovery to do. See, you can see on that side, and the lip is kind of leaning. So, and that's because the muscle weakness on this side is still there, present. So, anyways, I just want to give you guys an update in case you're watching this video first. I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy like September 5th, the week of September. This was between the 4th, 5th, and the 6th. I think I was diagnosed on the 6th, whatever that first Friday in August was. In September was this year, 2019. So that's how long I've been dealing with it. My recovery has been just as long. The symptoms started like 48 hours after, the symptom was really just like a achiness, like right under my neck. So I was careful to just try to differentiate where the actual pain started, because I know that signs of a heart attack is where your jaw is, there's pain in your jaw. And so I was like thinking to myself, is this my jaw or is it my cheek? So because it was literally up in here, and that's where those it kind of your nerves branch off like this around the side of your cheek and goes into your lip and your nose and your eye and your forehead and all that stuff. So it's just like a set of nerves that come like from around by your ear. Oh, you guys, I never told you, my hearing was impacted, and even it is now. Bell's palsy impacted my hearing. I could literally not tolerate. I go to a church that uses a lot of instruments, and on a normal day, everything, they have the best, they have the drums encased, and then they have like the best setup so that you can get the best sound, so no instrument is like overpowering the others. But I tell you, no sooner than the Bell's palsy started, I went to church. Oh my gosh, I could not. I literally had to stuff my ear with toilet paper because it felt like I was in a cave, and it was amplified. The sound was amplified probably like 5 to 10 times, and that was the worst experience ever. And so that was a physical symptom that really was annoying. And then also I work part-time at as a house manager and I do manage the house for theaters, live theater. And even then, my first job, after the Bell's palsy diagnosis, was a show. It was a concert. Oh my gosh, I had to stuff my ear with the earplug. So that is definitely a symptom that I can tolerate. Like, I haven't had to plug my ears in weeks, but the first few weeks, first 2 to 3 weeks, it was horrible. It was the worst experience ever. It just makes you want to holler and scream and cover your ears and just go home, because it was just the worst. And then somebody would talk, if somebody, like kids screaming or anything above a normal level volume of speaking, was hard to it was a pain to endure. So I didn't mention that before. I guess it's kind of like some little nuances of things that you don't really think about, but that was definitely apparent. So, but now, so my eyeball is leaking still, and it's kind of a pain. So, but anyway, and I really couldn't put those tears in my eyes when I needed them most, which was when I was driving, because those tears were so thick. The lubrication was like a really thick gel. That's not safe. I literally would lose sight in my eye, like for a split second, till those tears, did what they needed to do. So anyway, this is my update. Ask me any questions you want in a comment. Like this video, please. I want to get the word out to other people who may have experienced these symptoms, but maybe they don't have insurance, or if they do have insurance, they can't get to the doctor for whatever reason, but they can watch YouTube videos. So sometimes that's how people deal with things. That's their only resource. So I want to make sure that I provide as accurate of information based on my experience as possible to help other people. So please share this video, like it, comment below, and let me know if you have, or somebody else who's experienced Bell's palsy, and what impact it had on their life. Thank you for watching.